Good morning, SC kids. My name is Sarah, and I'm glad you're here. Guys, where did you go? I can't see you. Man, I'm afraid of the dark. Oh, what's this? Ha! It's a blindfold. What would you do if you lost your sight? In this story, we're gonna find out how Saul met Jesus, found a new beginning, and got a new name.
In the early days of the church, Paul worked hard to stop people from telling about Jesus. He did not believe that Jesus is the Son of God. He thought that people who believed in Jesus should be put in jail or be killed. Many believers left the city to get away from Paul. Paul decided to go to the city of Damascus to arrest believers there. He was traveling along when all of a sudden, a very bright light came down from heaven. It flashed around Paul, and he fell to the ground. Then Paul heard a voice saying, "Why are you against me?" "Who are you, Lord?" Paul asked. "I am Jesus," he said. Jesus told Paul to go into the city and wait for more instructions. Paul got up and opened his eyes, but he couldn't see anything. So the men who were traveling with Paul led him into the city. A man named Ananias lived in the city. Ananias loved Jesus. God spoke to Ananias in a vision and told him to go visit Paul. Ananias knew that Paul was an enemy of Jesus, but God had a plan for Paul. God said, "I have chosen Paul to tell many people about me." Ananias obeyed God. He went to Paul and said, "Jesus sent me here to help you." Then Ananias put his hands on Paul, and Paul could see again. Paul got up and was baptized. For the next few days, Paul stayed in the city with other people who believed in Jesus. He went to the synagogues to tell people about Jesus. "Jesus is the Son of God," Paul said. The people were amazed. They knew Paul had been an enemy of Jesus, but now he loved Jesus. The Jews did not like what Paul was saying, so they made a plan to kill him. The other believers helped Paul sneak out of the city at night. Paul was an enemy of Jesus and his followers, but then God changed him. Jesus came to earth to save sinners like Paul. When we trust in Jesus, he changes us from the inside out.
So guys, wasn't that video kind of really cool? And the story was awesome. So if you want to, get out your Bibles and find the book of Acts. It's toward the back. So in Acts, we're going to flip to chapter 9 and read about Saul's conversion. That means Saul went from hating something to really, really loving something. So Saul was a man who decided that he did not like anything that had to do with Jesus and Christians. So Saul went around persecuting them. One day, Saul was traveling with some men, and he was on his way to Damascus. All of a sudden, there was a huge flash of light, and he stumbled and fell to the ground. Saul then heard a voice say, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And Saul goes, "Is that you, Lord?" And the voice answered, "Yes, it's me, Jesus. Why are you persecuting my people?" Jesus then had a conversation with Saul from heaven, and he told Saul, "When you get up, go into Damascus to the house of Ananias. So Saul got up. His fellow companions that were with him didn't hear any of it. So when he opened his eyes, he found he couldn't see. How scared would you be? I'd be terrified. But Saul had his companions help him and guide him to the house of Ananias. God spoke to Ananias and said, "You're going to be visited by a man named Saul, and I want you to help him. Go to the house of Judas. When you get there, ask for a man from Tarsus named Saul. He's praying to me right now. I've shown him a vision of a man named Ananias coming in and laying hands on him so he can see again." So Ananias went. He didn't ask questions. He just went. He went to the house of Judas, knocked on the door, asked for a man from Tarsus named Saul. He then laid his hands over the eyes of Saul, and when he removed his hands, the scales that were covering Saul's eyes fell from his face. Saul could see. And with that, he ate some food, regained his strength, and he began preaching the good news because he was once blind, but now he can see. That is great news, guys, because guess what we got coming up next? Get on up to your feet, clap your hands, because we're going to worship the God that turned Saul's into Paul's.
All the static, all the noise can't compete with your beat. Tuning in to your voice, it's your love on repeat. Shout it out, tell the world I found a meaning. Can't be quiet anymore, you're the song I'm singing. Can you hear it? Through a million voices, you're the sound all around. Love is big, your love is loud like. Video heart goes on and on. You play my song, so turn it up, can't get enough of your love. 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 You make my heart go boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. You make my heart go boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All the static, all the noise can't compete with your beat. Tuning in to your voice, it's your love on repeat. Shout it out, tell the world I found a meaning. Can't be quiet anymore, you're the song I'm singing. Can you hear it? Through a million voices, you're the sound all around. Love is big, your love is loud like. Video heart goes on and on. You play my song, so turn it up, can't get enough of your love. 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 You make my heart go boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. You make my heart go boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Video heart goes on and on. You play my song, so turn it up, can't get enough of. Video heart goes on and on. You
Thank you guys so much for worshiping. That was amazing. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye, guys.